Welcome to another episode where we delve into the dark corners of zombie cinema. Think you've seen it all? Get ready for a list of 10 unknown zombie films that will drag you into a world of chaos, fear, and despair. Let the nightmare begin. Number 10. The Flu. The Flu, Korean Gamgi, is a 2013 South Korean disaster thriller directed by Kim Sung-soo. Set in the city of Bandung near Seoul, the plot revolves around a deadly airborne virus that spreads rapidly after a failed human smuggling operation. The virus causes hemorrhagic fever, and those infected die within 36 hours. The story follows rescue worker Kang Ji-gu and Dr. Kim In-hae, who team up to find a cure while trying to save In-hae's daughter, Mireille, infected with the virus. As the outbreak escalates, the government imposes a quarantine, and society begins to collapse into chaos. The film explores themes like government control, social collapse, and human survival, raising questions about how quickly society can break down in the face of a deadly threat. Number 9. Rampant. The dark action horror is set in medieval Korea, where court intrigue intertwines with a terrifying threat no one expected. Upon returning home, Prince Ganglim discovers that the kingdom is on the verge of collapse. Political machinations are the least of the problems, however. Bloodthirsty creatures turned into bloodthirsty monsters by a mysterious plague begin prowling the streets at night. The prince, who previously lived in luxury, must now face both brutal, ruthless courtiers and hordes of the undead. Every corner of the palace conceals deadly danger, and the battle for the throne becomes a fight for survival in a world where there is no room for mercy. Number 8. Daylight's End. The plot of 2016's Deadlight's End begins in a world devastated by a mysterious epidemic that has turned most of humanity into brutal, bloodthirsty monsters. The survivors, desperate and exhausted, struggle to survive, hiding from the constant threat. The main character, a lone wanderer, comes across a group of people hiding in an abandoned warehouse. Together, they must face the growing horde of infected, while discovering that the monsters outside are not the only threat. The atmosphere of growing fear and hopelessness makes every step a struggle for life in a world that no longer seems to have a future. Number 7. Doomsaday Book. The film presents a dark and intriguing vision of the end of the world, told in 3 intertwining stories. Each of them depicts different aspects of the apocalypse, which gradually draws the viewer into the terrifying world of humanity's demise. In the first part, a scientist accidentally starts an epidemic that turns people into bloodthirsty zombies, showing a brutal picture of the struggle for survival in an infected city. The second story takes us to the future, where robots gain self-awareness and become a threat to humans, challenging their right to exist. The last story shows an Earth over which annihilation hangs due to an approaching asteroid, forcing humanity to face the inevitable disaster. Each of these visions is a grim reflection on our place in a world where technology and nature become instruments of destruction and fear of the end is ever present. Number 6. Dead Rising. Watchtower. Dead Rising. Watchtower from 2015 is a terrifying tale of a world where a zombie outbreak has broken out. The film is set in a quarantine zone where the drug that was supposed to stop the infection stops working and the city is in chaos. Chase, a reporter trying to uncover the truth about the epidemic, finds himself in the middle of the apocalypse. Along with a group of survivors, he must face hordes of bloodthirsty zombies just waiting to tear them apart. Amid the violence, constant danger, and desperation, the government's dark secrets come to light, and the heroes quickly learn that the living can be more dangerous than the dead. Every step in this brutal struggle for survival is a balancing act between life and death. Number 5. Summer Camp. In a Spanish forest far from civilization, 4 young Americans come to work as chaperones at a summer camp. Everything was supposed to be a simple summer adventure, laughter, sunshine, and new friendships. However, what was supposed to be a peaceful getaway quickly turns into something much more sinister. At an unexpected moment, one of the participants begins to display aggressive, uncontrollable behavior, attacking the others. It turns out that the mysterious infection spreads rapidly, forcing the heroes to fight not only to survive, but also to keep their sanity. Each of them can turn into a ruthless predator at any moment, and time for escape is slowly running out. The camp turns into a nightmare where you don't know who you can trust. Number 4. Trench 11. Trench 11 Inches is a terrifying sci-fi thriller that draws the viewer into the claustrophobic reality of a secret underground military base. Deep underground, in the mysterious Trench 11, the government is conducting experiments that are supposed to change the face of humanity forever. However, something has gone terribly wrong. A stranded team of scientists and soldiers discovers that the facility is not just a laboratory. Something unknown lurks in the deep corridors, an ancient force that is not man-made. With each passing hour, tension builds as the researchers struggle to survive, and what they have discovered begins to hunt them down. The lights go out, communication with the outside world is severed, and the dark secrets of Trench 11 begin to come to light, bringing chaos and terror. Every step could be the last as the unknown evil from the darkness draws ever closer, ready to consume anyone who gets in its way. Number 3. The Horde. The brutal and suspenseful horror film will take us into a world of chaos and desperation. A group of corrupt police officers head to an abandoned high-rise building to exact revenge on a violent gang that killed their colleague. However, as they enter the gang's compound, things spiral out of control. Suddenly, they are surrounded by hordes of bloodthirsty, fast, and unstoppable zombies. The enemies, who only moments before were fighting to the death, must join forces to survive the apocalypse. Buildings turn into claustrophobic traps, and the constant threat lurks around every corner. Horde draws the viewer into a spiral of brutal struggle for survival, where there is no time for respite. It is a terrifying journey into the depths of hell, where humanity is put to the test and the line between what is human and bestial begins to blur. Any mistake can cost lives, and escape from this nightmare seems increasingly impossible. Number 2. The Dead. The Dead is a story of survival in a world where death no longer means the end, and the fight for life never stops. It's a film that inspires constant fear, piercing the viewer to the marrow of his bones, where loneliness and horror offer no respite, and hope becomes increasingly distant. An American soldier, Brian Murphy, after a plane crash, must struggle alone to survive in the endless wilderness, where the dead rise to hunt the living. He meets a local soldier, Daniel Demble, who is searching for his missing son. Together, they traverse a brutal world full of the undead, constantly fighting for their lives. Every moment is a game on the edge, where not only zombies, but also merciless nature and fear become their greatest enemies. Number 1. Blood Quantum. The terrifying horror film presents an apocalyptic vision of a world where the dead come back to life, turning into bloodthirsty zombies. The story is set in a small Makmak reservation, where the indigenous inhabitants discover they are immune to a virus that turns people into monsters. Faced with increasingly brutal attacks, the survivors must face not only the bloodthirsty undead, but also a terrifying moral battle for survival. The film combines intense action with a profound message about the struggle of indigenous people to survive in the face of impending doom, creating a terrifying and extremely claustrophobic atmosphere. Every scene is filled with terror, blood, and a sense that no one can be trusted as the undead move ever closer to the last bastion of humans. Thanks for watching our list. I hope you found something new for your watch list. Let me know in the comments which movie caught your attention. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more recommendations.